Thanks for joining me here on AccuWeather Live here. Bernie Rayno, I'm at home. I am going to track this storm into the Midwest, the blizzard that's going to unfold. It's coming in two pieces. And if you kind of look at the water vapor loop, you can see here's the first piece. This was the upper low, by the way, that came across California a couple of days ago. That's moving across the Midwest now. There's some heavy snow getting back into the Minneapolis area after a little break. And then here's a second upper level system. This is the stronger of the two that's going to be moving to the northeast as well. Let me show you the radar here quick, and you can kind of see here's the snow area. Big area of ice. Freezing rain, mostly freezing rain here across lower Michigan, Pontiac, Grand Rapids, into northern Indiana. Mostly rain, though, in Chicago right now, at O'Hare and points on south. But you start getting near the Wisconsin border, temperatures and they're freezing, so there's some freezing rain there. I want to take you into Minneapolis. You can see the bands of heavy snow now starting to get back in toward the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Right now, here's the picture from St. Paul. It's not too bad right now, but when you look at this radar, they're going to be getting into this darker blue and let's say green shading here. See, this is really starting to fill in. All right, let me show you what this looks like on the upper level SIP maps here. So here we go. Here's the two pieces. As we go through today, here's where we are right now. This is the first piece. This will bring the snow into Minneapolis and up across in Wisconsin. You can see where it's pointing to. All this energy, the yellow and orange, is pointing into Minnesota and Wisconsin. That's going to lift northward, and then this is the main piece. This will be coming into the area tonight, and you can see it's a pretty healthy area of red here with a jet at around 500 millibars to 60 knots. This is where you're going to start really producing the snow. You can even see it on the surface map. Watch. You get this initial piece, but watch how this fills in. See, right in here with that piece ramming northward. You see that? Into South Dakota, back into Minnesota, and as that continues to move north, you're going to get a pretty band of heavy snow here, Minnesota and Wisconsin. Not the strongest storm in the world, but the fact that you have a 1048 high up across British Columbia, that drives the wind out of the north and west. So there's going to be an area here where I do think we'll hit blizzard conditions, or let's just call it a blizzard, not conditions. Just a regular old blizzard here. I think it's going to be western parts of Minnesota and into South Dakota. This is kind of the area that we're thinking is going to be the blizzard as we go through tonight into tomorrow morning. Fargo, Sioux Falls, probably not in Minneapolis proper. You've got to get outside of the city, but I think you're going to get a full-fledged blizzard here. Road closures, dangerous travel, I-90, I-94, also I-29. So this is going to be a formidable storm here. As far as the snow accumulations here, what makes this storm a little tricky is we've already had quite a bit of snow already, about 3 to 6 inches. So, here's where we're looking at the bullseye here. Around the Minneapolis area. I would have probably just gone 12 to 24 and been done with it. But I do think you're going to see a lot of 16, 17, 18s in this zone from Wisconsin back toward Minnesota. And the other thing about this storm, when I go back to the surface map here, you do have a lot of colder air in place. I mean, you can see this Arctic air coming in, so you're going to get higher snow ratios. Worst of this storm, I think, is going to be Thursday night, Wednesday night into the wee hours of Thursday morning, and then I think the storm starts to leave, pulls aside, and then things kind of relax a little bit. But I mean, this is an area that's already been hit pretty hard with snow. So this is going to be a pretty big storm for them. A couple of things I want to end with here. Boy, what's happening in Southern California, look out for this system. This is what we were talking about last week on the AccuWeather Network. Look at this. Now, this will have implications in the east as well, but this is going to be just a huge storm for California. Now, for central and northern California, this is nothing unusual for them as we've gone through this winter. I mean, you're going to get a ½ inch to 1.5 inches of rain in central and northern California. I think the Sierra, the Siskiyous, 1 to 2 feet of snow or 1 to 3 feet of snow. Snow levels are going to get down to 500 feet, though, so some of the hills here along the coastal range, you're going to start getting some snow out of this. So that is a little unusual. But look how this upper low just kind of bombs and goes right into Southern California. Look at that. So you're going to start raining in Southern California with this system tomorrow, even though it's up here, because your heights are down to 552 and you're already bringing energy in there and you're getting a west-southwest flow. So you're going to start raining in California later tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, off and on in the Friday. But the big part of this storm is going to be Friday night and Saturday. And this is just a big old closed off upper low. This is going to be the biggest winter storm of the season for Southern California, and there's going to be all kind of snow in the mountains. You're going to get 5 to 7 feet of snow, I think, in the higher terrain of the Ventura and Los Angeles County mountains in the highest terrain. Really quickly, this is the storm that's getting a lot of hoopla in the Northeast for next week, because what happened is it comes across the country. You see that? There we go on Monday, Tuesday. Here it comes. And the other thing that's going on here is that you're getting this little trough and an injection of cold air into New England. And what's trying to happen is this energy is going to get blocked from moving north, so it starts to move east, and you get some redevelopment here, and you've got a fresh injection of cold air. If this would happen, if this is right, this to me seems to be a New England system. You know, I would hesitate about New York City. Certainly, I don't think this is a storm for the Mid-Atlantic, unless this trough is stronger and it forces this instead of up to east. But this looks like a problem for New England as we get into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So those are my thoughts on that. But in the meantime, again, this is going to be a blizzard in a small area across the plains and across the Midwest here. This is the zone. And then I'm going to leave you with the snowfall accumulation, and we'll see what ends up happening in Minneapolis. But they've already had several inches of snow. I mean, you're going to double the amount here, and you can see the amounts. Northern Michigan is going to do well as well. So again, these are total accumulations here from when the snow started to fall yesterday. So a big snowstorm on the way, a big storm coming into California, and let's see what that does for the Northeast next week.